Today I'm going to be using my drywall lift, and I don't have any help. So we often think of this is a ceiling lift that hangs this drywall on the ceiling, of course. But we often think of it as a one-person job because it does all the lifting and holding for you. But the one thing I want to tell you right off the bat is you still have to do some lifting, because we got a pile of drywall over there, and once I cut it to length, I have to lift it and put it on this cradle. And that is probably over 3 feet off the floor. Yeah, it's 39 inches off the floor. So if you're working alone and you're using longer pieces of drywall, you have to be able to lift a piece of drywall 39 inches off the floor and set it on this cradle. Once it's on the cradle, the tool will do all the other lifting and holding for you. It's just I want to make you aware of the fact that you're going to need to actually put a piece of drywall on this cradle. Okay, I've got the sheet cut to 110 inches. Now I have to bring this over to the lift. There's a couple of ways I can do it. I can actually lift it up and carry it over there. But this drywall is quite durable, and we have a concrete floor which is very smooth. So I'm just going to more or less just kind of drag it over there. So that was actually pretty easy to do. The next thing you have to remember is, when using the drywall lift, the good face of the drywall needs to be against the cradle. If I were to put the back against it, I'd be hanging it upside down against the ceiling. So that's something you need to consider. So in order to lift this onto the cradle, I'm just going to use momentum. I got a hold of it on this end. I'm going to lift it real quick, and I'm going to slide my hand underneath and center it so it's well balanced. And it's all just a quick motion. In other words, I'm not really doing a lot of lifting. I'm letting momentum help me to lift it. So here we go, watch. I got it up, slide my hand right underneath it, balance. Now I simply, since I have the lift so close, I'm able to just go over and set it right on the cradle. Now it's somewhat important to get it centered pretty well. So right there, I'm just measuring from the end. I got 32, and here I've got 37. So I need to move it that way a few inches, just to get it a little better balance. Okay. Now one interesting thing, this is a really nice room to hang because I have a lot of open area. If this was a room that was exactly 110 inches, in other words, if there was a wall right here, it'd be a little more difficult for me to use. But this is great for what I'm trying to show here. So I'm just going to position it under the seam. And the other thing you want to consider is, where is the crank? Which side of the panel do I want it on? I actually want it on this side here, so that as I'm cranking it up, I can look at this seam, because that's what I'm trying to fit against. So I can just spin the whole tool around. Just reach underneath it and spin the whole thing around. So now I've got the winch on the side that I want it on. Another thing you can do if you're worried about it tipping, because this could tip on you, there is a little lever back here. Here, get a shot of this there. This little clip here, if I close that up, it locks it, so now it won't tip and the panel will fall off. Because this is the edge that's fitting against the other sheet, I had to take these little hooks and just snap them backwards. So now I'm just going to start cranking it up. And as I get closer, I'll start wheeling it around. That's getting a lot closer right there. Now the beauty here is I'm not in a hurry. All the lifting is being done by the tool, and it just holds it in place. So as I'm turning this up, I don't even have to get a hold of the lower part of the handle. I'm just doing a little fine tuning right here, just by moving this around, and then I can get my arm here and move this around just a little bit. Now I've got it in place. I like how it fit this edge, but if I look over in this corner, I'm about an inch short. So I'm going to lower it a little bit. Let's start over. I have to lower this just a little bit because I need to make an adjustment, and it's tight and I just can't move it along. Now, this is the brake. In other words, the brake is right inside here. If I release this lever, this is going to fall down. So you need to have one hand on the actual winch handle here. So then I just pull the brake, and you can see that the pressure is off. Now it's just going to go down. As soon as I let go of the brake, it locks back in place. Now I'm going to make this little adjustment on my length. Yeah. So that's it. It's nice and tight into this corner. It's tight along this seam. And it's right where I want it on this edge as well. So now it's in place. I can take my time fastening the perimeter. Once I get the perimeter fastened, I lower the lift and I fasten across the face. All right, I've got the perimeter fastened, so now I'm just going to lower the lift itself. So once again, make sure you got your one hand on the handle, one hand on the brake. So when I release this brake, then I just start turning down. I never let go of this handle when I have the brake released, because this thing will just drop. Now, just simply pull it out of the way, and I go through and finish fastening the ceiling.